class. Not my normal podcast attire, but
No, it's great. It's good. You're all warriored out, so it's perfect. Here we are back again, more Got Hockey, and we've got a three-peat. We've got Kirk Allen back for a third time, and we're looking at something very specific today. Warrior had a bit of a late launch, but we're very happy to have it in store. And Kirk's here to talk all about M2i. So let's get right into it. Kirk, how do we come about with this stick, and what is it we're seeing when we look at this peculiar shape on a goalie stick?
I'll give you a quick peek and then I'll tell you the backstory behind it.
Yeah.
This is the M2i. So you start in the paddle. It's our minimus paddle construction. So it's the M2 Pro Plus paddle.
Already an inline feature.
Yep, which is a low kick, quick release, makes it very easy to lift the puck off the ice. The new and exciting piece to this stick, though, is the ASG shaft, the asymmetrical shaft geometry. Rectangular or conventional here, and then it transitions into this new shape, and then back to a conventional shape where your top hand would be at the knob. So really the concept in the story about it was this understanding that puck handling for goalies it's always been very difficult for a lot of reasons. One, you have a chest protector on. Two, you don't get a lot of practice with it. Three, when you are relied upon to play the puck, you're behind the net in this tight space, and you got to make a quick decision. Chances are your defenseman's probably not telling you what to do, even though they should. So you're kind of like, I got to just rim it on the glass, or something. But
yeah.
So goalies typically, whether they fancy themselves a strong puck handler are not the best. You're not as set up for success like a player is. So we've always tried to, with our composite goalie sticks, to try to understand that. How can we make a product out of a stick that helps a goalie? And that's really the genesis of the M1 and then the M2, to be able to have that low kick, quick release. And then we further expanded upon that and said, what else is it that really makes puck handling challenging for a lot of goalies? And it's really rooted into the fact that you're trying to take a trapper and grip onto the stick. Because a player, they have independent fingers. It's super easy.
Of course.
Goalies, you only get that on your blocker hand. And then we looked closer at it. We're like, when you're actually closing the trapper, you're creating this V shape, but you're trying to put a V over a rectangle, and those two shapes don't fit.
There you go.
So we started by just sort of concepting what shape would fit, and we found a shape we really liked. It's kind of this we call ASG shaft. It's somewhat of like a teardrop type shape. And then as we started testing that, though, we found there were all these other benefits. One of them being durability. The most vulnerable part of any hockey stick, player or goalie, is the 90-degree corner on the shaft or the taper of a player stick. What happens, especially on a goalie stick, you get these high impacts from pucks on these corners, and they create these little micro fractures. And then eventually you go to play a puck and it snaps. And it's all because of that corner. So we increased the radius for the trapper hold, and it ended up becoming a durability benefit as well. I'll try to show you. There's really just no corner. Just from going from 4 corners to 2 corners on paper, that makes this shaft more durable than a conventional shaft. And then the radius as well helps. Similar to like what you think of like a puck deflecting off the crown of a mast. Like a puck to hit it and then pop off of it. You don't want it to hit it and cause damage or cause a crack.
And we've all seen even just a shot right above your hand, right above your blocker, that just tears right through a stick, and that energy really has nowhere to go if it hits flat and doesn't have a deflection point. So points for you guys. Nice secondary benefit, right?
Yeah, for sure. And then the other benefit comes to blocker transitions, whether you're trying to execute a poke check or get your blocker hand back into your paddle stance position. You have less surface contact with your blocker palm through the midsection of the shaft. So it makes it super quick and blocker transitions too. So you have more control over the shaft, and that gives you more leverage, which gives you more power, and then that control gives you more accuracy, and ultimately it makes it instantly easier to play the puck. My own personal experience, the first time I took one of these sticks out. I took a conventional M2 Pro Plus out at the same time just to do some comparison, 5 shots with this, 5 shots of that. And I was amazed at the backhand. Like, you don't realize as a goalie, you don't ever use your backhand because
not much. Yeah.
No, and when you do, it's typically just like a soft, like I'm just going to leave the puck here, or I'm just going to flip the puck, because that's really challenging when you have a trapper on your hand with a rectangular shaft to try to be able to pull the stick backwards with any sort of leverage. My own personal Siri always talks when I put a trapper on. Anything that I was trying to get like in the air, if I wanted to have any sort of force behind it, I could maybe get the middle of the boards. But if I wanted to get glass, it was really just me flipping the puck, errantly. But when I was using the M2i, it was just glass, 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 glass. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything different. I haven't practiced more. I'm literally just switching sticks. And with one, I'm able to do this, and the other, I'm not. And it all comes down to the fact that with that shaft shape, you can really have control.
Yeah.
With the stick, and that gives you the leverage to pull backwards as much as it does on a forehand pass as well. So you can see here, I'll try to do it without my watch going crazy, but you can see just how it really wraps fully.
Yeah.
Much like how a player would get that full same wrap from independent finger stalls and gushers.
Right. And just so we're clear too, where you're holding it at the shoulder and where you're holding it at the top is regular rectangular geometry. Yes. So you've got that, like, and you're saying like you now have that clearance, and you also have that back to the rectangle shape. It's almost like when to grab it too.
Right.
So this is something we have. This is something we have in the store now, and it's very exciting. I've been showing lots of people. A couple have already made their way out the door, and I'm sure everyone is using them to the fullest extent. So I'll probably end up picking one up myself at some point, just to give it a whirl. I know Sean was able to help you test one out too. I might just steal his. Yeah, everything looks great. Like another little thing along the lines of all the great innovation that you guys have come up with.
Thank you. It's been really exciting. As you mentioned, it arrived to stores a little bit later than what we intended, but in time for the holidays and a time in the season where I think some goalies are maybe their stick they started the year with is starting to get to the end of the road, so they're looking to a new stick to get them to the second half. So hopefully goalies will check it out and pick it up. It's a game changer. You're going to see this shaft from us in continuation in future stick launches, inline product. This stick in itself is staying what we call inline for 2023. So this is not like your store gets 12, and then when those 12 are gone, the stick's gone. We ordered a lot of them. They're in our warehouse. A lot of stores went really deep in them. So it's going to be around all next year. So if you don't pick it up at Christmas time, pick it up in the spring for your goalie clinics and things like that. But
yeah, it may even be almost a little bit of a blessing in disguise to have them now, because so much stuff you're getting earlier in the spring or the summer to break in, but we're in the peak part of the season right now where you really want to get something. So maybe this is actually a good time for people to get it and start using it. So again, I know I'm pretty excited about it. I always appreciate when I see a new product come out, how excited all my friends, the designers, my reps, when they see something and they go, no, but this is really cool. Like it's not just a new thing. This is something we really are really jazzed about. And like a lot of the things you guys do come out with, again, it's another, you check a lot of boxes there on the, this is going to be a pretty cool thing. So
it's been cool for me too, because I've shown it to a lot of people, and not everyone in the hockey industry are goalies, but even showing it to people who are players, and they see this and they just get it. They're like, oh, I see why a goalie would like that. I can't wait to show the goalie guy at my store. My goalie guy is going to flip when he sees this. So it's something so simple, and it makes total sense. Like, you're like, wow, it took 2022 for something like this to come out. We used rectangular shafts for how long? But really, we're not far removed from foam core, and so the opportunities and the options for expanding upon stick development for goalies goalie is just at the surface. And so we're going to continue on and keep making stuff that's exciting and innovative and ultimately makes you a better goalie just by using it. So that's our hope, that people have fun.
Yeah, well, that's always it too, right? It's about having fun and stopping pucks. So Kirk, thanks again for stopping by. I couldn't be happier with how this is turning out, and I look forward again to probably getting a chance to use one on ice and seeing for myself. And again, my customers are already starting to find out. So thanks for a little bit of a rundown, and we'll talk soon when we've got some more exciting things coming out.
All right, take care, Dana. Thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy.
One other thing I meant to mention, but it's not a groundbreaking thing though. But I found like there actually more rebound control from this shaft. Like you just don't get you're going with the blocker, but you got some wrist turn into the save.
Mm-hmm.
I have not had one where I'm doing that, but I obviously miss it and it becomes a shaft save where it hits the shaft and then it comes back because it hit the top. And I'm like, where is it? Everything seems to kind of follow like almost like a blocker save. Like
right.
It hits the blocker and it's always going to go that way.
So that angle that it sits at is even beneficial for rebounds coming off it.
You get a piece of it, you're making the save, but then what?
Yeah.
Is it going that way, or am I going to be like down?
You definitely don't want it angled the other way.
Right.
So, no, that's good. That's good.